With Morales Black Cement TV, talking to Yvonne Senat Jones, who plays Tally on Ruthless. For those
Yep.
who don't watch the show, let's take me back to how did this role come about before we get into season 2?
Sure thing. So how did I get the role, or how's
Yeah,
Tally doing in season 1?
how did you get the role? Did you audition? Did they call you in?
Yes, I actually booked Tally as a recurring role on the Oval, and then Tyler ended up doing a spinoff and created a whole series based off of the Ruth character, who's my best friend. I'm her best friend, and the Tally character, and then just took off from there.
Now, how long ago, when you were recurring on Oval, did you know there was gonna be a spinoff and you would be a regular on that?
I went in just thinking, thank God I booked a recurring role. We always want the multi-episodes, right? So I was just grateful for that. And then I actually gave Mr. Perry a thank you card before I left, and shook his hand. I said, hey, it's my last day on set. And he shook my hand. He said, it's your last day on set, but not the last time here. We're going to bring you back. So that was my first indication, but it's kind of broad. So I didn't expect a script in my email like 2 months later.
Mhm.
But that's how it went down.
So where are we now coming into season 2 with Tally?
So yes, this next part that's coming up, premiering on Thanksgiving Day, 3 episodes on BET Plus, is the second half of season 1. The way Tyler rolls is he gives you a nice chunk of 12. You get a little break to miss it, because a lot of our fans do. And then he gives you the last 12 of the season. But it is flying. So basically at this point, Ruth and Tally have very much realized that this is a dangerous cult that they're a part of, and it's not the nice community that they thought it was originally, and they are on their way out. The last episode was a huge cliffhanger. You know how Tyler does, life and death, what's gonna happen next, kind of excitement. And so that's what we're going right into this season, for the second half of season 1.
So when you can play in this role, and obviously having played it on 2 different shows, what did you do to get into character? And how do you relate to the character you're playing?
Very good, very good. So actually, for Tally, for the original role, I did look up cults. There's a Netflix documentary, and Melissa L. Williams, who plays Ruth, and I were watching it just to see what was really incredible was the normalcy of the people. They're just everyday people, engineers, all these people who just join a group that they don't seem to see as a cult. It's just a community. They're there for XYZ reasons, but ours just happens to go very badly. So I definitely did research on that, on the cult side of things. And then I had to do research because she's pregnant for the season of actually the series of Ruthless. So in Ruthless, I'm pregnant, I have a daughter. So that one was more so just research on pregnancy, because I don't have any kids.
It's an ensemble cast. Obviously, you also shot during COVID. What was that experience like?
Oh, Camp Q. We like to call it Camp Quarantine. Yeah, that was actually really incredible. It felt like camp. It felt like summer camp, except with a lot of COVID tests. A lot of swabbing.
Now, is it a good feeling to go back to work? Because obviously throughout that period and still now, there are a lot of people that are out of work, a lot of productions that shut down. So, it's great that Tyler Perry is able to create this environment where people can be tested. And for actors, hey, to go to work, at the end of the day, we all want to check,
Hello.
You don't know when that next work is going to come. And when, especially when like, I know people whose production is shut down early, they weren't able to complete those episodes,
Wow.
and for you to come back, it's a good feeling, because now, at least especially now on TV, there was a period of time when, there was nothing on TV, and now that we're entering the new season, people want to see original episodes. You can
Yes.
only be home, and I was like, okay, I've seen this episode, or we're
Like
at
all
the
the
rerun stage.
girlfriends.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you start playing on Netflix, I've seen it. I'm in the Twilight Zone, so it's rotating again, you know,
I'm
stuff
back in
like
the
that.
90s again.
You know. But when you're on this show right now, you know, what does that mean for you as an actress coming in from a recurring role to having a show where you're on more pages?
A lot more memorization. Number one, key, because Mr. Perry does a full series, and we filmed a lot of season 2 and even some pickups of season 1 in 9 business days. So he does not play any games. And you have one take and you're in, you do what you plan to do, and you're done. So for me, it definitely, the first season, filming that last year, was very helpful for my prep this year. I knew as soon as I got those lines, let's get these in. Let's get these lines in, because then I can play after that. So it definitely raised the bar. But you know what? He gives opportunities to people regardless of what your previous credits were, regardless of what you're currently on. And so when there's a high bar, you need it.
You know, Tyler Perry show seems to have a big audience. You know, you hear those, you know, we get the press releases about how many people have been watching the episodes and so forth, you know, and you're part of the show, you know. Do you pay attention to social media? Do you read to what people say about the characters, where they want the characters to go? Are there certain characters that they hate? Are you one of them? Are you the character they like? You know, do you read into that stuff, or are you just like, hey, I'm here to do my job and that's it?
You know, I don't seek it out, because you know, if you look for something, you might not like what you find all the time. But thankfully, to be honest with you, I like to live tweet, and I found that majority of people are very positive. We have great, great, great fans. I'm always checking out. We have a fan page, a couple fan pages on Facebook. They're always just anxious for the next ones. And yes, they definitely have their characters that they love to hate and that they love to hate. Thankfully, I don't think I'm on the hate list, because Tally's trying to save everybody. But sometimes I am on that Tally, get your life list. Get it together.
You know, when you're not doing a show and obviously we're all home or we're somewhere being contained, you know, what do you do to stay humble?
To stay humble, I think that's all about family. Your family will keep you humble all the time. You know, you go to your mom's and then dad's there, and maybe you have to help her do the laundry or do whatever it is, you know. But honestly, I feel like when people have been in this journey for a while, that keeps you humble, because you're so grateful for the opportunities as they come. And I think that honestly, the journey is going to be usually what keeps people humble. The harder the journey, usually the more humble the person at the end of the day, because there's gratitude there, right? So, and I like to work with kids, and kids, they'll keep you humble real quick.
You know, you've done other shows, other recurring roles or guest episodes. What goes into saying yes to the projects you take? Is it more or less like you're still early in your career, you just want a job wherever it comes, or are you picky in terms of where you want to work on?
Well, I'm usually pretty open, but yes, there are definitely, I think just in general, even regardless of where you are necessarily, there's going to be some projects that are just not for you. Whether it's because it's, you know, it might be, to be honest, as a woman, it might be like, maybe you're not comfortable with this kind of nudity, or maybe you're not comfortable with this kind of character, you know? So I think you just have to remain true to yourself at the end of the day. You know, there's no judgment on the roles themselves. It's just you being true to who you are. And, but thankfully, you know, my team, I think that has to do a lot with my team. My team knows my personal concerns or the kind of roles I just not fit for. And so those just don't come. They don't submit me for those. So I think that's a conversation when you have it with your team, then you don't have to do that awkward more than once, I would say, of, you know what, thank you, I really appreciate it, but I'm gonna pass this time around.
Mm-hmm. You know, before I let you go, what is it you're watching now? We're all home, nowhere to go. Sometimes I'm like, how come she didn't pick up the phone? Where is she? You know, I'm like, we're home now. You know, at least we're contained. It ain't like you're flying here or there. You know, is there anything you're paying? Everything on TV is everything's old is new again. You know, you can catch up to like stuff you didn't catch before, stuff that's coming on now. Is there anything you're particularly paying attention to? I know actors like to say, "Oh, I'm always busy." Are you?
Are we now? I don't know. It's COVID. No, we are definitely my husband and I are definitely catching up on shows. So I'm doing a girlfriend binge because I didn't catch that wave the first time. I'm doing some Sister Sister. We do Quantico because I like action. We've been doing. My husband's doing the Queens something. It's like the chess one
Okay,
that's on
Netflix.
Netflix. There you go. Yeah, and I actually want to start The Crown because I've heard great things about that over time. And so we're dipping our toes into a couple of different areas.
Hey, stay busy, stay healthy. It's good talking to you. Obviously, we'll get this out. Enjoy the run. Obviously, when it comes to Tyler Perry shows, they go for a good minute. So so you got a good job security there. So let's keep it going, and hopefully, I'll see you on other projects here and there.
I hope so too. Thank you, Wilson. I appreciate you.
Take care. Have this thing.